Georgia, a land where red clay meets golden sun, where rivers carry the memories of old battles, and where whispers of treasure echo through the pines. Every town, every orchard, every forgotten plantation seems to have a story of riches buried in fear, of men who trusted no one, of secrets taken to the grave. It begins in the heart of the 19th century, when the American South was alive with pride and tension. The Civil War was on the horizon, and fear began to creep into the hearts of even the wealthiest men. Banks were collapsing, armies were moving, and homes that once stood proud were now marked for fire and ruin. And yet, Georgia held its breath, holding close its secrets, its silver, its gold, and its stories. Beneath the rolling fields of peaches and the ancient oak trees, fortunes were buried, fortunes that, to this day, remain unfound. This is their story, the lost riches of Georgia, from a businessman's buried fortune to a pirate's hidden gold, from a plantation's secret map to treasures buried during a war that tore a nation apart. Griffin, Georgia. The year was the late 1800s, and prosperity had found a proud home in the life of one man, Mr. Duncan. He was a businessman of sharp wit, stern eyes, and one unbreakable rule. He did not trust banks. In those days, many Southerners shared that fear. Banks failed, money vanished, and trust was a luxury few could afford. So Mr. Duncan did what many before him had done. He hid his wealth within his own walls, under floorboards behind walls, in jars beneath the earth. The Duncan home was a vault disguised as a house, but the rumors spread. Neighbors whispered that Duncan's fortune was not in any bank, that his home was filled with secret caches of gold and cash. His wife grew restless, her nights sleepless with worry. One evening, under the golden glow of a lantern, she spoke. "Please," she said, her voice trembling, "put it in the bank before someone robs us blind." He sighed, nodded, and agreed. For days, he went from room to room, lifting floorboards, pulling loose stones, emptying jars. By the end, he had gathered over $100,000, a fortune unimaginable for most. He loaded his wagon and set out for the bank. But somewhere along that road, something changed. Perhaps a shadow of doubt crept back in. Perhaps he thought, what if the bank fails tomorrow? So he turned off the main road, rode into his peach orchard, and there, under the pink blossoms and Georgia sun, he buried every dollar. No one knows where. Only weeks later, his heart betrayed him. A sudden attack left him weak, bedridden, struggling to speak. In those final days, he tried desperately to tell his wife where he had buried their fortune, but his words were broken, his directions unclear. She leaned close, tears streaming down her face, trying to make sense of his fading voice. By the third tree south but the sentence never finished. Mr. Duncan died within days. His wife searched, others searched. The orchard was dug and redug, but the treasure was never found. Somewhere beneath the Georgia soil, under decades of roots and blossoms, lies a fortune waiting for the one who understands his final words. Far to the southeast, where Georgia meets the Atlantic, the salt wind carries the name of a legend, Blackbeard, the most feared pirate to ever sail the American coast. He was ruthless, cunning, and, as many claim, a genius at hiding his gold. He is said to have buried his treasure not in faraway lands, but right here along the Georgia coast, on Blackbeard Island and Ossabaw Island. For centuries, people have searched those shores, digging in the moonlight, chasing the shimmer of coins under the sand. According to tales, Blackbeard used the islands as safe harbors for his ships, hiding not just gold but silver, rum, weapons, and plunder taken from merchant vessels that never reached their ports. The barrier islands, dense with marsh and tangled oak, became his vaults. Fishermen have claimed to find rusted cannonballs, corroded chains, even fragments of old wooden chests. But the treasure itself, the gold that once weighed down the hull of Blackbeard's ship, remains hidden. Some say it's cursed, that the spirits of his crew guard it still, rising with the mist at dawn, eyes glowing beneath tattered hats. Others believe the sands have simply swallowed it whole. On stormy nights, when thunder rolls over the Atlantic, locals swear they hear cannon fire echoing from the coast. The ghost of Blackbeard, they say, is still there, guarding the gold that no living hand will ever touch. The The Civil War came like a shadow over Georgia, dark and merciless. General Sherman's march to the sea left nothing untouched. Homes burned, plantations raided, families scattered. Fear took hold. Everywhere, people hid what they could not carry: jewelry, silverware, coins, heirlooms, buried in jars, boxes, and barrels beneath their yards and gardens. They thought the war would end soon. They thought they would return. But many never did. In every county of Georgia, there are stories of buried wartime treasures. In the hills near Macon, an elderly widow once told her father's gold coins hidden in a cedar chest under an old oak tree, a tree that was cut down decades later. The chest never found. Near Savannah, a farmer plowing his field in the 1920s unearthed a handful of silver spoons, blackened by time. He swore he heard coins strike the metal of his plow. But when he dug deeper, there was nothing. These are not just tales. The war scattered people, records, and lives. What they buried in fear was forgotten in loss. And so, Georgia's red clay holds the wealth of an era that vanished in smoke. Every field, every grove, every quiet yard in the Old South might hide a secret. Coins beneath roots, gold beneath ashes. Sherman soldiers took what they could, but even they could not find everything. The soil remembers. It keeps what fear once hid. Near LaGrange stood the great estate of Lipscomb, a name that once meant wealth, power, and pride. The plantation stretched over rolling fields and magnolia-lined drives. But as war loomed, even the wealthy grew afraid. Lipscomb, a man of stature and secrecy, did not trust the coming tides of war. He gathered over $100,000 in gold and silver coins, intending to hide them from invading soldiers. But he did not work alone. One of his trusted servants, a man of loyalty and quiet strength, helped him dig. Together, they buried small caches of coins in various places around the plantation. Beneath stones, under trees, near the creek. The servant marked each location in his mind, while Lipscomb drew a rough map on parchment by candlelight. The treasure was hidden in pieces, scattered so that even discovery of one would not betray them all. Then came tragedy. The servant fell ill and died. Without his help, Lipscomb himself could not find half of what they had buried. In desperation, he added more notes to the map, lines and symbols only he understood. But fate was cruel. Lipscomb, too, fell sick and passed before the war's end. His widow, grief-stricken, found the map, but it made no sense. The landmarks were vague, the handwriting faded. She searched, hired men to dig, but the plantation yielded nothing. Over the years, the land changed hands. New owners built homes, plowed fields, planted gardens. Occasionally, someone found a silver coin, a rusted box, a glimpse of something greater. But the full treasure, Lipscomb's fortune, remains hidden beneath the soil of LaGrange, waiting for the one who can read his coded map. Today, Georgia stands proud and modern, yet its soil still whispers. Beneath orchards, beside rivers, under churchyards and fields, secrets sleep. In Griffin, Mr. Duncan's peach orchard still blooms each spring, its petals falling softly over the ground that may hide a fortune. On the islands near Savannah, waves crash over Blackbeard's lost gold. Across the countryside, the ghosts of the Civil War rest beside the valuables buried by trembling hands. And somewhere in LaGrange, the coins of Lipscomb's estate lie undisturbed beneath the roots of magnolia and pine. Generations have searched. Metal detectors hum. Shovels strike the earth. Maps are studied under candlelight once more. And yet, nothing. Perhaps the treasures are too deep or too cleverly hidden. Or perhaps, as some believe, they are not meant to be found at all. Because these treasures are more than gold. They are echoes of history, symbols of fear, hope, and human longing. They remind us of the fragility of fortune and the stubborn endurance of mystery. Georgia's earth is old, red, and patient. It keeps its secrets well. And somewhere beneath it, the lost fortunes still wait, glittering in darkness, waiting for a new dreamer to come along, with a shovel, a map, and a heart full of wonder. Perhaps that dreamer is you.